We will now delve into the Ghana Premier League game week 32. Sheikh, I'll start with you for your pointers from game week 32, the next 5 minutes.
Michael, first of all, I think that anybody who watched the weekend's matches, the surprise scoreline will be
Sheikh,
there.
just before, let me run through the results quickly. Hearts of Oak 3, Accra Lions 1, Bibiani Gold Star 0, Asante Kotoko 0, Dreams FC 1, Brekum Chelsea 0, Bechem United and Baseke Holy Stars drew goalless. And then we had Adriana Stars beating Legon Cities by 4 goals to 0. Nations FC 3, Samatex 0, Young Apostles 3, Pando Heart of Lions 1. And then Vision FC beating Kaila by 1 goal to 0.
Yes, Michael. So the point I am making is that if you check through the score lines and then just suppose it to the league, title chase, clearly Nations FC scoreline against Samatex is a bit, surprising in my opinion. However, it's a justification of the fact that Nations FC are not joking with the title chase, and they are putting in every energy that is needed, to help them win the Ghana Premier League title. Currently, if you check their points build up, they have 60 points on the league table. They have 2 matches to go. If they are to win all these 2 matches, it means they are going to end the season with 66 points. Followed by Bibiani Gold Stars, who have 57 points. Bibiani have also, 2 matches to go. Yeah. Now, if Nations FC win a game and draw even the next game, they are done. They've won the title because they need 4 points, to win the titles. Bibiani Gold Stars will have to win. Even if they win the 2 matches, they end with 63 points. So Nations FC just need a win and a draw to cement the title chase. For Asante Kotoko, I feel that at this particular point in time, it is over for them. Yes. If Kotoko can make it to winning the title, what it means is that Nations FC and Bibiani Gold Stars must lose all the two matches. Okay. For Kotoko to win all the 2 matches to be able to become the league title winners. Okay. So for me, I think that Nations FC have done extremely very well. And Michael, let me be a bit personal here. For those of us from Asante Bekwai, we are extremely happy that once upon a time in 1996, when BYF Academy was established, we gained qualification to the Division 1 League in 2016. That is, 20 years after the establishment of the club. The club was taken over by Divine Chebedu, the son of Dr. Kwame Che. They bought the club from us. And today, the BYF Academy that was established in 1996 in Bekwai Zongo is a step away from becoming the Ghana Premier League champions. At this point, I am very much optimistic that Alhaji Sharif and Coach Abdul Rahman, these 2 gentlemen who established the club in Bekwai, supported by my able self, will be very, very, very happy that what they sowed, the seed they sowed in 1996 has become the Ghana Premier League champion. So for me, I feel that they are just a step away from becoming the champions, and that is the talking point of the league.
Mahama, your pointers from the GPL game week 32 results.
Been able to win that game convincingly against Samatex by 3 goals to 0. For me, it was not a result that came as a surprise to me. I said it earlier on this same platform that the Nations FC were going to win that game against Samatex. And after winning that game against Samatex, they will go on and then get the desired results in the game against Baseke Holy Stars and the final game against Hearts of Lions. By doing so, they are going to be made as champions of the league. Being able to beat Samatex in the way that they did, a Samatex team that has gained form, a Samatex team that is doing very, very well, even away from home. Samatex have built their form based on their home form. And you can trace that to last season where they won almost every game at home, with the exception of one game. And that game or that defeat where they suffered at home was in a game against Nations FC. So for me, Samatex have been in very, very, very good form, but against Nations FC, I felt like Nations FC have too much for them. Nations FC are on course to winning the Premier League title. And you look at what they've been able to do, it's been a fantastic season for them, from the coaching, from the defense, from the goalkeeping, the midfield, and even attack. Where I feel they've done amazingly well has been in their defense, where they've conceded only 16 goals. If you look at the Premier League history, the only time that its team has gone on to concede less goals is the 2010 season when Ashanti Gold ended up conceding only 14 goals. And by doing so, they were not even able to win the league. You look at the last league champion that has conceded less goals. Then you go back to 2009-2010 season where Indiana Stars ended up conceding just 10 goals and scoring only 19 goals. So Nations FC are on course to getting what? The best defensive record in the Premier League since 2010, when Ashanti Gold conceded only 14 goals. And for a league champion, they are on course to doing so for the first time since 2009, when the Indiana Stars considered only 10 goals. So for Nations FC, they've done an amazing job, and no one is even paying attention to what they've been able to do defensively. They've conceded only 16 goals. And that is remarkable for any team that wants to win the Premier League. And even up front, they are scoring goals for fun. And their away record is impressive. They've won a total of 8 games away from home. And that puts them in a very good position. If they go on to win their next game against Basaki Oli Stars, and they also go on to win their final game against Out of Lions, they are going to earn 66 points. Yeah. And the only team that has been able to amass more points in recent years is that Asante Kotoko league-winning team under Prosper Natorogun when they won with 67 points. So Nations FC, what they are doing this season, it's unprecedented. And they are doing so, being able to break so many records. And one amazing thing that people are not paying attention to is that if Nations FC win the Premier League title, that is going to mean that since 2007, since 2017, we've had different champions in every season that the league has been played fully. Last year, we saw Samatex. The year before, we saw Midiama. Before Midiama, we've seen teams like Accra Asofo win the league. We've seen Ashanti Gold. We've seen Indiana Stars. We've seen Asante Kotoko. We've seen Accra Asofo. So when you go back to the previous seasons that we've been able to complete, the full seasons, we are going to have eight different champions. We've had 8 different teams going on to win the league title. If you want to go back to the last 8 seasons that we've been able to complete, that shows that our league is competitive. In a sense that you can't be confident enough to tell which team is going to win the league title. So that is one thing that Nations FC are on course to doing so. In terms of the relegation battle, I found a bit of surprises with Basaki Oli Stars going away to Bechem United to secure a point, and Young Apostles trashing Out of Lions by 3-1. And that's, by doing so, that puts Out of Lions in a very, very disadvantageous position in terms of winning the league title. And Asante Kotoko as well, going away to play a draw against Bibiani Gold Stars also put them in a disadvantageous position. Okay. Now, if Kotoko will have to win the league title, that means Bibiani Gold Stars must lose their remaining 2 games, and Nations FC must lose their remaining 2 games. Before Asante Kotoko can have the chance to win the Premier League title. For now, I think it's now a 2-horse race between Bibiani Gold Stars and then and then Nations FC. There's a likelihood that by the end of this weekend, it's going to be Nations FC who are crowned champions.
Bobby. Side won by 3-1.
My brother, you know, last week I was telling my younger brother here that we will beat Vision, and he was hoping
Accra Lions.
And he was hoping that Accra Lions will do the unthinkable. And I told you that Accra Lions, they live under our shadows. It's a team that find it difficult to beat us of folk. Since they came into the Premier League, they've only beaten us once. I think that was last season when they beat us 1-0. So we've been beating them all the time, be it Accra or where. This season, I think we went to Sugakope, went there to beat them 3-2. So I was sure that we're going to beat them. So I wasn't surprised at all with the results that we got at Accra Sports Stadium. But it wasn't an easy game. Accra Lions came in more determined, fighting for battling relegation, doing everything they can to make sure that they get their Indian results. But of course, our boys were more determined then and got the goals. Kwesi Asuma scored his first goal for Hearts of Oak. And it was a good goal, because that was the time that Accra Lions has come into the picture. We got in the equalizer. They were building momentum. And we got that goal from Kwesi Asuma. I think Mario Wario did a great job there. And he scored a great goal. Then later Hamza also added the other one. For the past 2 or so seasons, our last 5 matches have not been good in terms of results. Some can even trace it to about 10 or so matches. We want to change that. So we're determined. And of course, the management, the board, and the team, the technical team, were made aware that we don't want that trend to follow. So we need to change that narrative. And it's been good, because look at the last 5 or so matches that we've played. The results has not been bad. We played Kotoko here. We drew. We went to Bekum. We won against Chelsea. We've beaten Accra Lions. I think our next away match is Legon Cities. So, and I know we'll beat them. Then we'll play our last match also at Accra Sports Stadium. So, I think that has been good for us so far, though we are not in contention to win the league. But of course, we'll end the season with a respectable position on the league log. And that is what we are looking for. So we are hoping that the 2 matches will get a 6 maximum points added to our points and build it on. I mean, the focus of Hearts of Oak next season will be to win the league. So we need to build it. You need to make sure that we end this season strongly so that we can augment our team, strengthen where we think we have shortfalls, and make sure that we go into next season with full force, with a target to win the Premier League, because we believe that it's time for us to fight for the Premier League. I'm happy that it's likely we're not going to do wholesale recruitment. We'll only identify some certain shortfalls in our team, areas that we need to strengthen, get about 3-4 so players to strengthen the team, because we still believe that the current team is not that bad, but we need to improve the team. And I think they'll grow into the league next season. So next season will be a different season for us. We are hoping to end this season on a strong note and make sure we prepare well for next season. I mean, for us, we think that those fighting for the league, before the league started, I'm not sure any House of Oak supporter was thinking about winning the league. So if we've really lost out of the league, it's not I'm not sure it's an issue that we are thinking about so much. We are looking at improving our team and making sure that we can fight for the league next season. And I think that is the target. I mean, for those who are on top and fighting for the league log, the last time when we were discussing this and we were doing analysis about potential winner of the league, I made it clear to you that Nations FC has the greater chance of winning the league. And judging from the results that happened between Gold Stars and Asante Kotoko, and I said it here, that when they drew, it means that the 2 teams will be missing out. Then the Nations, after winning, and I was quite sure that they will beat Samates. They will be in a very poor position to win. And they did it. Now they only need a point from Samates, from Baseke. They have a home match, a last home match against Lions at home. And I think that will be a day they will crown. I see Nations winning the league, and they are determined because as honor Dr. Kwame Che wants to play in Africa, and they have what it takes to play in Africa. So I think we need to support them, and they've done well. Kasim Engel has done something that a lot of people are not looking at. When he was at Bichim was always competing. When he came to Nations, his first season at Nations, that was last season, he came close to fighting for the league title. And this season, he's gotten to this stage and is winning the league. So I think he's doing something right. He's one of the coaches that I admire so much, and we need to commend him. And the management of Nations FC, I think they've done well. So for me, it's good that they've won. I've already given it to them because I know they will do it. And yes, I know they will do it. Because if you look at the stage that they find themselves now, I mean, they have their job cut out for them. Just go to Baseke, either you win or you get draw, you come home, you complete their business, and you are league champions. And I think that is good for them.
Okay. Jonathan Akron, looks like everybody is with Nations FC, but of course, when there are 2 more matches to be played and they have a point lead, and losing the league title means dropping points in all the 2 games.
Now, Michael, don't forget they have a bad head-to-head against Gold Stars. We shouldn't forget that.
Yeah, that is it.
And the league is determined by head-to-head first before goals. So, no points. If there's a tie, you go to head-to-head before goals.
Goals is not a
doesn't come in.
It's not a
It's the match between
after
the two.
head-to-head.
The two of you head-to-head.
If the 2 teams, if
Head-to-head is
he has to do
pepe.
with either winning the title or relegation, and there's a tie, the only tiebreaker is head-to-head.
head-to-head.
If
There's
the
no
head-to-head, if they are par in terms of head-to-head, then there is a playoff for the 2 teams.
All right. Michael, Basake, are no mere pushovers,
Of course.
especially at this point in time and at home. I see the Heart of Lions match as Atabankese as a done deal. Heart of Lions were knocking, were forcing to chase. Of course, they've tried. They did from where they were lying last season. And what they've done this season, I think Heart of Lions is the most improved club, maybe alongside Gold Stars. Well, last year, Gold Stars also suffered at a point in time. Now, you ask yourself, will nations survive at Baseke unless the dynamics that we know surfaces, or the dynamics that sometimes we perceive or alleges surfaces? Because nations, Baseke will be playing their last match away at Doma. So if they should drop all points against nations, which I know it will be impossible, that game will end in a draw. Baseke also need those points because they can't determine what will happen at Doma unless there are machinations and push-arounds done for them to survive at Doma. Maybe another draw for them to get 2 points to take them off relegation. Now, I will leave the top and get down a bit because we're talking about the Ghana Premier League. Accra Lions will be relegated. They are playing Dreams match day 33, which will be a tall order for them. That match, Accra Lions will not win. If they win, that means the last match for Karila will be playing Apostles as their last game. Which, whatever, even if you give Gary 1 sack of Gary to Apostles and they chew, they eat it, they will still lose at Dailugu. Whatever happens, that match. So, by week 34, Karila will get 41 points. They have 35 now. They will get a Swaterman walkover and beat Apostles. That is why Apostles did everything up their sleeves to beat Heart of Lions over the weekend. So Apostles are safe. When Dreams this weekend annihilate or take all points or even draw against Accra Lions, the league is done. Relegation sorted. Because Swaterman, Lagos Cities and Accra Lions will join. But if the unfortunate happens and Accra Lions beat Dreams, which is a possibility, maybe they'll go all out, whatever happens should happen, and they beat Dreams, that means the league will have to go to the wire. By the top, like you said, Basake will not be pushovers. They will still need that 1 point at least. So whatever nations you do to get 1 point, and then finally, Dr. Randiabe's Out of Lions will not survive at Abankese. Because if they are not able to survive at Weti, they shouldn't survive at Abankese. I'm not saying they can't survive, they shouldn't survive at Abankese. If they could not survive at Winchi, then they shouldn't survive at Abankese. Then we know Dr. Chase, Nations FC will be league champions with either 64 or 66 points for 2025. So that is it.
So Carrera is also on 35 points.
Yes.
42 points will do the magic.
Yes.
If you have 42 points.
So
No,
now,
but even if
so Carrera is
whoever get
35.
41 will go up.
Karela
No, the
currently
reason
have
why
35 points.
the reason
35
why
points.
41
And
could
Accra
be a
Lions also
problem
have
is
35.
41
Yes.
won't be anything.
the reason why 41 could be a problem is that currently Accra Lions have 35 points. If they win their remaining two
They won't
games,
win the remaining two.
no,
No,
if
no,
they,
no,
we are
it's
we are
the permutations
projecting.
that he has
So if
tried
they
to
win
project.
their remaining two games, they will have 41.
41.
So let's also assume that Basake Oli Stars, who now have 38 points, also end up with 41 points, which is losing one of their two
Remaining
games
two.
and then winning one. The two teams will have 41. And the head-to-head between the two teams, I think, is similar.
Basake has,
The table we have.
Basake have 38 points now.
but I think Basake has
Basaka on 38 points.
They are-
their
they have
last match
38.
is against Nsuatramai.
No, it's Karela.
Nsuatramai
Aduana
plays
Karela.
Okay, that's
Karela.
Basaka will play Aduana in there,
Aduana.
away from home.
So if the head-to-head between
final game with
out of
34.
Accra Lions and then
so if Basake
Holy
should-
Stars is
if they
check-
if they have a chance.
Adriana's last two
So
games.
should Basake get a chance, they have to beat.
So what it means is
Nations
that
FC.
if Basake Holy Stars are to come into the picture of being relegated or escaping relegation, it means that the
They are-
remaining two matches
they have
they
to
need
play
4
once.
points.
Yes, 4 points.
They need
to-
4
to-
points.
to be safe.
So they may need a draw against Nations FC and win
Then
their
win
last game
against
against
Aduana.
Aduana Stars.
Check what Adriana has.
Which will also be good for Nations FC because Nations FC also need only 4 points.
Only 4 points.
A
Aduana
draw
has
with
44
Basake and a
points.
win against Heart of Lions. I feel that at this point, the job is not so difficult for Nations FC. The reason being that Heart of Lions are not in the picture of winning the title anymore. You
So
understand?
they won't win. They won't
So
win at
so
Abankese.
that game at Abrankese, Nations FC will die for it, and that could be the coronation game.
Yeah, of course.
After it, they are coronated, so they will die for. So the main game or the top liner will be Nations and Basake Holy
Basake,
Stars
yeah.
in Zimala.
In Zima, yeah.
And I think it's going to be a
So
cracker.
mathematically,
It's not gonna be a cracker.
out of Lions,
No,
That's going to be-
Basake needs the points. Nations
No,
FC
no,
will
no, no.
win.
Basake will draw that game, and the game we played for Adriana has 44 points. Adriana's next game, whether he loses or win, we don't need it. His final
so
game
what kind of
will be.
permutation are you doing?
I'm talking about Ghana Premier League. I'm not talking about English Premier League. Basake will take points, not points at Doma, which has already been done.
so Accra Lions' only way out is to win their remaining two games.
Accra Lions.
Yeah, their only way out is to win the remaining two
They
games.
can win, but they will still be relegated.
Yeah, they can win and still be relegated.
Yes.
So Accra Lions in Swaterman and Lagos Cities have been relegated.
You know, Accra Lions got
So for now, Brekum Chelsea needs a win from their next two games
Yeah.
to cement their
Cement their
place
place.
in the league.
Brekum Chelsea.
Yes.
Or a point.
They have 41 points now.
41.
So
Okay.
Point will be.
They need a point.
They need a point.
They need a point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then Young Apostles need one win
They
from the
need-
two. Vision
one win
needs
from the two,
one
2
win
points.
from the two. Then Basake Holy Stars will need a win and a draw.
Vision is safe.
Vision is 39.
39 points.
And then
So
they'll
they
get
need
3
one
points
win.
against Nsuatreman on Sunday.
Yes.
On Sunday
yeah,
against
they'll
so
get
they,
44.
So they are safe.
42,
So they'll get
42.
42.
So Vision
Vision
is
is
safe. So
It's
but you
interesting.
see, Michael, I think all of us, in all sincerity, this is what we must all see with the Ghana Premier League. We have 2 matches to go. We are unable to identify who the winner of the league is. At least it is some 80% done, but not completely done. Relegation, about 6 clubs can all be relegated. To some extent, you can even, 6 clubs. So I feel that it explains how competitive the league has
Are you
been
sure?
this season. Yes. It explains that.
So like,
You know, Kobe, in determining...
I don't see it
I'm
to
coming. Okay, well, you may have your point. In determining the competitiveness of the league, there are parameters to determine that. One is the performance of your league in Africa. When your clubs go to Africa, how is their performance? It's one of the parameters. 2 is how the league carves out in terms of who wins the league, who goes to relegation. You understand? It's also one of the determining factors of the competitiveness of the league. So for me, I feel that what we have seen so far explains that this season has been very competitive. Imagine a Hearts of Oak that may not need 3 points to do anything against an Accra Lions that needs the 3 points to survive in the league. And Hearts of Oak ends up, beating Accra Lions by 3-1. You understand?
But that should not sum up your competitiveness.
No, I'm saying
Because
no.
Hearts of
It
Oak-
does. It does. You
Because
know
Hearts
why?
of Oak- Hearts
You
of
know
Oak-
why?
Uh-huh.
You know why? In terms of determination or competitiveness, at this point, Accra Lions is much more determined and competing more than Hearts of Oak. What does Hearts of Oak stand to gain? It's only the integrity of the league that they are protecting. You understand? So if Hearts of Oak ends up playing against an Accra Lions that needs 3 points to survive, and Hearts of Oak are able to beat Accra Lions, it tells you that they are protecting the integrity of the league.
Of course, but that doesn't make it competitive.
No, it makes it. Either than that, they could have lost to, what do you call it?
See.
Look, last season, or last 3 seasons.
So with your analysis,
Let me make this point.
If
Last
Hearts of
3
Oak has
seasons,
lost to Accra Lions, will you say that
it would have confirmed
that the league is not competitive?
It would have confirmed that
No.
everybody has that particular perception. Wait, last 2 seasons, RTU needed the points against Hearts of Oak to survive in the Ghana Premier League. Was that not the case? They came to the Accra Sports Stadium and beat Hearts of Oak by 4-1.
last 2 seasons.
A game that when I watched, I knew that RTU fought for it and they beat us hands down. What was the Claron call? It's because Hearts of Oak does not need the points for anything. That is why RTU were able to beat them. Was that not the call? But today, the same Hearts of Oak that will not need the points for anything are able to beat a club that needs the point at all costs to survive in the league, and you don't want us to say it is competitive. Please. I feel that it is only fair.
I'm saying that analysis does not sink.
No, I have given.
It doesn't make it
I've given you a
competitive
scenario.
because Accra Lions could have beaten Hearts of Oak
I'm
last
coming.
Friday.
Yes, it's possible. As it happened when RTU beat Hearts of Oak. But when RTU beat Hearts of Oak, what was the call?
But it's not the same
No,
scenario.
I'm coming. When RTU beat Hearts of Oak in Accra Sports Stadium by 4-1, what was the general call? That Hearts of Oak allowed RTU to beat them because they wanted RTU to survive. Was that not the call? And today, the same Hearts of Oak, in that same situation, with a different club, the club was unable to beat Hearts of Oak. Hearts of Oak fought to beat them by 3-1. And looking at that, I feel and I want to conclude that it's a sign of the competitiveness of the league. You don't want to agree. But when RTU came to Accra to beat Hearts of Oak, you want to agree with people that that game was compromised.
No, but you see,
Is that your conclusion?
I'm not sure I sat here and I said the
No,
game
I'm coming.
was compromised.
So if that is not your conclusion, then you have to respectfully accept what I'm saying and support me. Come on board and let's
I find it
together.
difficult to understand, please.
So now, the reason this anti
Gadola, please put on your microphone.
sorry, they raised this RT issue. Somebody prompted me when RT have again qualified to play in the playoff for Premier League promotion.
Yeah, they will
and
play
just
one.
2023, 2024, they were in Ghana Premier League, right? And so the person, a lay man, but he's a law student, asked me something that I've not been able to answer. Maybe once Kobe and Sheikh are here yourself, you could answer. Now, just about a year and a half ago, that's what he said, so 2 years. He learned how to play a match of convenience. I said, no. I said, what? He said, oh, what they did was, by law, it's a criminal offense because it was impersonation, using somebody. I mean, stuff like that. And I know what he was saying, but I intended. I pretended that I didn't understand what he was saying. And he said, "Oh, the same team feigned accident and sent some pictures that they're on their way to play a game and they've had accident. So how can we keep?" He thought RTU should have been in the third-tier league or something because he recalled the Ash Gold. Actually, he called them Ashanti Gold. So a gold field. He said gold fields and in one club that played a fixed game and they were relegated to the Division 2. But why didn't you do that to RTU? That's why we are beating them again into the Ghana Premier League. So that one day, maybe when I meet.
Okay.
boys,
Kobe, let me address that. From my
impersonation be a criminal offense.
No, I'm coming.
Some
From the
people should
angle
have
of the
been in
FA,
jail.
let me just respond to him so that you come in.
Some people should
Gadola,
have
I
been
feel
in
that
jail.
if the person is watching us, or maybe perhaps
He's watching
the
it.
response that
He's
you
watching
can
the
give,
show.
the response that you can give to the person is that, first of all,
Please speak to the person. He's watching.
RTU were not caught in the web of match fixing or match manipulation as compared to the Ash Gold game. So there are two scenarios altogether. Secondly, there are regulations that are governing football all over the world, wherever you go. What RTU did 2 seasons ago by taking unregistered players to go and play against Dreams FC.
Last season.
Last season. They were sanctioned per the regulations of the FA. I think what we all need to understand is that there is no way you can sanction somebody outside what the...
Speak into the microphone.
There is no way you can sanction somebody outside what the regulation stipulates. They were fined. The players who were used to play, like he said, impersonated, were banned. You understand? And the club was punished according to what the regulation stipulates. So maybe the person feels that per what they did, the sanctions that were given them were, maybe lenient. I may understand with him. But as at the time that those things happened, that is what the regulation stipulates.
All right, thank you. But you see,
you understand?
Sheikh, I guess that you've read that that ruling.
Yeah.
And the sanctions. It's laughable. You are here saying that...
No, I agree with that. Is why I know. That is why I said that.
I know.
If you think the sanctions are lenient,
because
that may be a point. But at the end of the day, that is what the regulation says.
You even said that the players were sanctioned.
Yes.
Where are those players? What are their names?
Oh, Kobe, wait.
No player has been sanctioned.
No,
they said the players who participated.
Wait. You don't know them.
The players use adult players' name.
No, wait.
Wait. So you did it. So let's say that Rahman use my name as an RTU player to come and play. You say you sanction Rahman.
So to make things simple, understand it this way. Before the game was played, Dreams FC played the game under protest. And before they played the game under protest, the regulation says that the captain of Dreams FC and the match officials should take pictures with the players who were playing the game. And all those pictures were taken. So those players that you are saying are known because their pictures are there.
Which identity?
No, look.
Those identity?
No. They are pictures.
Because those who played.
Let me finish. Those who played.
Please let me finish.
Were sanctioned. They were all banned 1 year. And they are players that are known. There were players that were playing for RTU's youth team. So they are in the system. So when they are banned, they are easily identifiable.
Jonah, I want my brother to understand.
But the club should suffer than the players. But the
see,
players suffered.
You see,
like the club.
Like the person who asked you this question. And I
alluded
to all these things. All right?
It's a law student.
All right? It's led to the how do I put it? I'm looking at the credibility of our league. And if somebody who is not in the mainstream sitting out there, and this is what he perceives, it means there are a lot of them. Because so many people were because they all saw what happened. And they were expecting maybe RTU to have a punitive sanctions than what they got. So certainly, this person will not understand why RTU has now qualified and is coming back again.
Just this short
see,
one, at
and
least.
it goes to the integrity of the league itself. So, like he's saying, you can read their ruling, and if you read the ruling, in the ruling, it was as if the players who didn't play, they were the players being sanctioned. If you go and read the ruling, and I read it and I laughed, I said, what kind of ruling is this?
But
You see-
the
you
club
see-
should suffer.
you see-
Sheikh, you see, the point Kobe is making, I remember asking the same questions because if you read the ruling, it sounded as if the
players who
and
didn't
even,
play.
and even if you look at the charge sheet of the charges that were
Better now.
preferred by the
The-
GFA's prosecutor, it had the names of the players that were supposed to play, the name of the players on the team sheet.
Those who impersonated, they were their names. That's why I'm asking him with which identity. We will have the pictures, but that is not the name of the person, because the person used somebody's name. And in their ruling, what they should have done was to identify those who impersonated.
But Michael, this
That's what
house,
they didn't do.
No, wait.
You see,
Okay.
and
So
this thing, we swept it under the carpet.
we have not swept anything under the carpet. Perhaps
the
you are not
players,
following.
no, but
Guardiola, the players whose name were indicated that they were those who went to play for RTU, they have been registered in the system of RTU. Those who went to play were not registered.
so how do you get their names?
I'm coming.
Use their pictures to look for them.
I'm saying that these are players who are known. When
Known to who?
Known by the FA.
So what they
But-
should have done?
but
No,
we
you
are
see,
the registering
Sheikh,
organization.
Sheikh,
You understand?
what the FA should have done when they were charging them?
that was
they
actually
should have-
what was done.
No, it wasn't done.
Please.
Because if you look at the charge sheet,
No, wait.
They used the players
Yeah,
who
but
were
say-
supposed to play and
Listen,
didn't play.
listen.
That was the name they used.
That is a
Meanwhile,
charge-
those who did the impersonation.
Kobe, per
I mean,
law,
left-
per law,
They-
that is a charge sheet. That is not
If
a
you
sanction
go and
sheet.
read, go and
Relax
read the
and
ruling.
listen.
I said, go and read
Now,
the ruling again.
in the ruling-
Even in the ruling, they
Please.
didn't mention those players' names.
Wait.
They only said
Okay,
that the players
okay,
who played.
Let me ask you a
But
question.
there's
Assuming that, before you come even with the list, assuming that in the ruling, the players that you were mentioning are the players who were named. Alassane Mankonyale was a striker of RTU then. He ended up playing the whole season for Samatex. Why was he not affected?
No, because
his
Larry
name
Dabo.
was in
No,
there.
because
So he-
even
it is
some
not
of the
those
players.
players, because-
no, see, even some of the players. If you look, go and read the. I don't have the ruling with
What
you.
I'm saying
you have
is
the
that
ruling and you're
I
reading
am
the
giving
ruling.
you-
You
Kobe,
understand?
Kobe.
Because the ruling specifically mentions certain players.
Kobe, I am not arguing with you.
No, but-
I am
but
giving
if
you the facts.
If you read the story on the ruling on the Football Association's page, but that is not the full ruling though. It is just the story. It did not even capture the sanctioning of players. It said that RTU had been fined 100,000 cedis, and then also the officials who led the team to play that
Were
game
banned.
were banned 1 year, and it went ahead to state the names of those officials that have been banned.
Yes, but if you read the ruling itself, the ruling says that they ban certain players.
Yeah, there's another.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. This is
that
this is the
indicated
report.
the
Yeah,
players who
the
were banned.
players who
And
were banned.
I was even looking
and
for
there
that.
was specific names. You see, my problem here.
Okay, so
If somebody has impersonated another person, why don't you use the person who impersonated real name? That this is the person who did, and that person has been banned. But
Kobe.
meanwhile, the name mentioned.
Kobe, that is why I am telling you the names of the players you are saying who were banned were the players who went to play the game.
No.
It is not. No. Listen, I am telling you that per the pictures that they took from the match venue, these are players who are already playing league for a lower tier RTU side. In the lower league, so they are already known.
According to they see.
According to who?
From the information we got.
From who? From who?
The people who came from Tamale to play this match.
Who are the people?
See, that match, if you want
Kobe,
to
Kobe,
protect the
Kobe.
sanctity and credibility of this league, that match, the result should have been expunged.
I'm coming. Per what regulation?
Because how
No, per what
can
regulation?
fraud because they perpetrated fraud.
Kobe, you are a law student. Per what regulation?
That's what I'm saying, that they perpetrated fraud.
No.
So
Does your regulation?
So are you telling me? Are you telling me that the FA doesn't have any rule that deals with fraud and impersonation?
When was the last time? You see, you are a law student, and the law is there to regulate life based on past experiences. This thing has never happened in Ghana football before. It has never happened. And so you pardon the law if it does not capture something like this.
No, hold on. But
You understand?
But the Ash Gold international, was he appealed for
No, that
Match
one
fixing.
was a fixed
Match
match.
fixing. Oh,
That was a fixed
was
match.
no.
That one is different.
match fixing
Match
has
fixing
happened
is
several times, and
Okay.
sanctions have been given several times.
How was he given? You see, when impersonation naturally by law,
It's a criminal offense.
offense.
No, I'm coming.
And so
See,
wait,
They didn't even
so,
deal with the
so
criminal
the
aspect
name,
of it.
Guardiola.
the name they used
Yes.
in perpetrating that heinous crime should be punished. That is how it is. You only
no, I'm
find
coming.
out
See,
the
And you see, very
Guardiola.
interesting.
Play.
We don't know. They should know that
The prosecutor
fraud,
did not try at
fraud,
all.
fraud.
People
Vitiate
are not
contract.
reading meaning
Fraud.
into that. It was
It's a
election
vitiating
year.
factor.
And
No,
so
no,
blah,
no.
blah,
So
blah,
this
blah,
one,
blah.
these people
What-
are, it's a fraudulent thing. They did.
What you
So
all
that
need
result
to-
shouldn't have
Kobe,
stood.
Kobe, what you all need to understand is that as we sit here, when we live here and we enter parliament, there is a code of conduct. There are regulations that are regulating our behavior in parliament. The environment is different from here.
If it is
You
fraud, it's
understand?
fraud.
No,
Fraud
wherever
doesn't
you
have
find,
regulation.
no, wherever
Every
you
fraud
find
is
yourself,
fraud.
there
The
are
people
regulations
committed
that govern
fraudulent.
you.
What they did
Kobe,
was a fraudulent act.
Kobe, do you know that fraud in maybe the Ghana Drinkers Association may be defined differently from the Ghana Road
in
Transport?
law, fraud is fraud. It hasn't
No,
changed.
that is not how you must see
And
it.
if
Kobe,
it
you must
takes
not
any
behave like
contract,
this.
what are you talking
No.
about?
You must not behave like this.
No, fraud is
When
fraud.
you know that, no,
The
it,
thing, if
it is
fraud,
not about
it
the
means-
generic word
If it is
fraud.
fraud, it means it's illegal. It's something that shouldn't have stood.
Kobe, I am telling you that it
What are you
happens
talking about?
differently elsewhere.
That is why the man is asking that question, because that what the people
The game is football.
was a criminal thing.
Kobe, the game
So,
is football.
so are you saying that football there's no criminality in football?
No, wait.
Is that what you are telling us?
the game is
But
football?
Kobe, one would
There
also
are
argue that
regulations
the Football
governing the game.
Association does not handle criminal matters. So maybe the
They should have reported the thing to the CID.
But who told you they didn't respond the matter to
And
the
what
CID?
happened? And what happened?
No, I'm asking you.
And what happened?
Who told you they didn't respond the
Sheikh,
matter to the CID?
was the matter reported to the CID?
What? You see, Michael.
No, I'm asking a
Look,
simple question.
look,
Was the
wait.
matter
I'm
reported to
coming.
the CID?
I'm coming. Michael, we have the football integrity to protect. There's a criminal aspect of it. It is there by law. It is this reason why we are even struggling with hooliganism in our game. People will go to the field and misbehave. The GFA can only sanction clubs because they are their members. As for what is happening on the field, that is why we have police officers there. So if they fail to arrest, you can't blame the GFA for that. It's the same situation here. Wait, the GFA has regulations that regulate the game. There is no way we can act outside the regulations. When we do that, the game will be put into serious disrepute.
That's good. That is good. So
And
if you
that
have
is
a
what the
product,
GFA
so
does.
if you have a
Michael,
product and somebody
so does that mean that it's only in our football that heinous crimes or crimes can be
can be
perpetrated
perpetrated,
and
and the
go
law-
unpunished? The law will leave.
and the law,
Because
the law protect them.
Okay, so
If
Because
the
so-
same
so-
thing is
criminal
done
offense.
outside football, I impersonate Michael's name to go and even collect banti somewhere, some coconut or cocoyam.
It's fraud.
It's fraud that we put
And
behind.
you'll be dealt with
But-
as a criminal.
But this, where people with their emotions have come together to watch football, and you come to lie, impersonating
Impersonating
one
people.
or two people.
A whole 11 players.
Michael,
what is the
You see,
history? What is the history of impersonation in our law? Are you aware of that?
history.
Yes, of impersonation in our law, in our constitutional law. The constitution was written by a certain people. Is that not the case? And they wrote the constitution based on our experiences in life. You get it? You understand the angle I'm
what's the
coming from?
basis
So
of-
by
No,
law,
wait,
impersonation
wait.
is what?
The impersonation
The
thing, tell us.
point I am making is that
You said that you
No,
I
based
want you
on
to
the
go
football
there.
regulation.
Don't
This
go
is
there.
a layman's
Look.
point of view. That is
What you're saying is
I am-
difficult
I
to
am
defend.
doing
And defend
football.
this.
the man
Guardiola.
keeps taxi on the show. and
I
it's-
am doing
Boss,
football.
the number-
I am not using the constitution of Ghana to
Michael,
run
they didn't
football.
put
Then-
it
But
on
even
Okay,
the impersonation
no,
thing
but-
that
that's what I am
under
using.
the constitution. Don't go
See,
there because
see,
I had
see.
wanted you to
Explain
finish.
to us. Explain to us the history behind
It's a-
impersonation in
what
our law.
history? It's fraud.
No.
To
So
impersonate
Kobe,
somebody.
So
It's
Kobe,
fraud.
as a
There's
law
no
student,
issue to it.
impersonation just got
Fraud
into
is
our
fraud.
constitution
No.
just like that.
Criminal jurisprudence.
No, I'm asking a question.
It's in the criminal
So
code.
impersonation,
It's fraud.
Kobe,
It's
Kobe.
It's
Impersonation just got into our constitution just like
nobody
that.
has defined impersonation in the constitution. Go and check.
Hey,
I'm
impersonation
telling
has
you,
no
it's a
definition in our
criminal
constitution.
thing. Every crime is crime.
Hey, Papa,
What
wait,
are you talking about?
Thank you very much, gentlemen. In fact, we have not gotten to the bottom of this matter, and maybe tomorrow we'll be back here. to continue. But
The gentleman to do directly with you. Because the questions he keeps
So
asking.
something.
and then you add
That you
Shakes-
give him
Shakes-
Shakes number, which I will not do.
Why?
I
he's
saw
calling.
something.
Okay, Mahama.
It says, under the criminal law, under the Ghanaian criminal law, impersonation of itself is not a crime. Defrauding by false pretense is the crime. In essence, pretending to be someone is not considered a crime until one causes another to part with the ownership of something, money, solely based on its false pretense. In this case, the victim or complainant may not be the artist.
Okay.
It will more likely.
Mahama,
So you see where impersonation is coming from.
Don't worry. I'm saying
Law
that.
students.
I'm saying that we'll get
That
it.
is fraud.
No, please.
I will explain why
Please,
it's fraud.
I'm saying,
Kobe, I
Kobe,
sir.
we'll be back here tomorrow to put closer to this matter.